Hey everyone, this is Coriel Kramer. I am a professional animal communicator and I'm with the Animal Experience. It is Thursday and that is when the Animal Experience goes live. So thank you for joining. And I have episode 50 today. And 50, I think, is the perfect episode to do on the subject of age. And this is something that, a subject I've had on my list for a while, because it's profoundly changed my life. And but what I do is I wait every week, and the animals of the universe usually show me, either through a session or just communication with a natural, a wild animal or an animal in nature, what my subject's supposed to be. So this subject didn't come through until last night. This confirmation didn't come through until last night. So first and foremost, I really do want to thank everybody for joining. I appreciate you, and I appreciate your support. You know, your support of the animal experience. It means a great deal. So this subject came through last night, so I want to give a little shout out to Tamika Schreiber and her Schreiber is German for writing, so I always get that confused. But Tamika and her dog Luna, because it was Luna, a conversation through with Luna yesterday, that I was able to actually get confirmation of this. So, you know, shout out to Luna and thank you very much for that. I just want to see if I can find hang on one second, before I do this, I want to just make sure I have the comments and the questions, and usually I have them up, and I'm sorry for doing this ahead of time with everything else like that there, but usually I'm able to see the comments and the questions, but there we go. Just want to make sure that I get those up for you guys. So this is episode 50, and it is on the subject of age. And Luna gave a beautiful definition of how animals see age yesterday. So I really thought it was a huge confirmation, and I wanted to share that with you today. So here we go. So age, you know, humans, we're pretty obsessed by it. You know, we define ourselves by it. We define other people by it. You know, age is something that we can use to defend our limitations and our beliefs, or it's something that can bring us together. You know, it depends on how we use it. But I think humanity in and of itself is a little bit too stuck on it. So I'm hoping that showing the animal's perspective on age will help to change your mindset a little bit. So how do animals view age? Are they obsessed with it like we are, or do they celebrate the years, or do they celebrate something else? You know, what do they have to teach us about the subject? So let's go on. Age. First off, I want to talk a little bit about how humans view it. Now, this is a concise list. It's not every single way that every single human views age. So, you know, we got limited time, people. So I had to cue it down to a little bit. So if I forgot something, let me know. Super fantastic. Post it. Otherwise, we're moving on. So first, I believe that humans are a little obsessed with age. Okay, for themselves, for others, you know, some of the sayings that we go through or that humans use are, you don't look your age, you look so young, you don't act your age, you don't dress your age, you don't, you know, you're an old soul, you're a young soul in an old body. Yeah, we're constantly thinking up new stuff. Can't teach an old dog new tricks. All this kind of stuff is about a person's age and the limitations that we as humans put on it. You know, are you feeling, you know, people say, I'm feeling my age. You know, I can't do this. I'm too old. You can't do that. I'm too young. It goes on and on and on. So humans define themselves and other people by age. You know, they do this. We do this from the time that we're kids to the time that we understand, you know, to the time that we understand to the time that we pass on, you know, and, you know, today is a day where two great people have transitioned, one being Aretha Franklin and one being actually Elvis Presley. He died, you know, however many years ago. I don't know, 40 something years ago or something like that. But it's like, you know, we have to say not just that they transitioned, but what age they transitioned at. And immediately when we look at that, we say, oh my God, she does, you know, immediately our mind goes to, wow, she looked good for her age. Or, wow, I can't believe he died so young. Or, wow, I can't believe he died so old. Or, wow, he looked good. Or, wow, he didn't look good. You know, it's like we're constantly judging. Age is so super important. You know, what happens though is we count on it and we count it, not only for ourselves, but we immediately start counting it for our animal companions. And I do this too. You know, I do this too. But I've gotten their permission. I've gotten my animals' permission. But I celebrate the day that I get, you know, my animals. I celebrate their birthdays. I don't know their exact birthdays, but I celebrate their birthdays. You know, but I don't go crazy over it because, and then I forget about it. I don't put a lot of stock on the number because I don't want it to become the end all and the be all of what I define my animals' relationship, the relationship I define my animals by. I don't want it to be, oh, they're 10 years old. That means I got a good maybe 5-10 years left. I'm not getting into that. I don't want to get into that. They have their time the way they have their time. So what happens is when you focus on age, it brings the focus of what's important, which is the present and the now. That's why they call it a present, people. It's present. The present and the now, and enjoying that. And it brings our attention to the end of the possible future. You don't know. You know, I don't know. I had a lot of cats that lived to be 20 years old and older. But if I had spent like 15 years before that worrying about when they were going to pass, I wasn't going to appreciate the fact that all those beautiful nuances I had of them in that life for that however old they lived until the, you know, 20s, 25, things like that there. So age is something that we can use to defend our limitations and beliefs. What do I mean by that? Oh, well, I'm too old to do that. I'm too old to dress that way. Oh, that doesn't look good on me because, you know, my body is changing and I'm older. You know, my body is not the way, my body's not like it used to be. You know, it's just, we hold ourselves back with thinking that if we are at a certain age, we can't do something. Or worse yet, we get to the point where we think, oh, I'm at this age. That means that, you know, I got a good maybe 15, 20 years, you know. So then you start counting it. You're not paying attention to the present of what's going on. You're paying attention to possible future. You don't know how long you have. So, and we do this with our animals as well. Now, there's also good things, you know, about age. It can bring people together. It can bring people together in a commonality. You know, the people from the 80s, the people from the 90s, people from the 70s, people from the 60s, and so on and so on and so on, you know, have this commonality, which is fine. And that's beautiful. And that's great. But don't let that become something where other people tell you how you're supposed to be. You're 27 years old, okay? And you're supposed to be living your life and doing this and traveling. If that feels good to you, fine. If it doesn't feel good to you, then don't do it. It doesn't matter how old you are. Oh, you're so young. You got your whole life ahead of you. It's like, so what does that mean? When I hit a certain border that I'm ready and I'm going to be, I'm dialing in the croak meter, well, I'm going to croak. I survived another day. I do not want to live like that. I don't know about you, but I don't want to live like that. Okay. So yes, it brings people together, but it can also be used to commiserate limits in the body and the mind. Oh, my mind's not as, I got Alzheimer's coming in, or I got what I call elder timers coming in. Oh, I forgot where my keys are. Oh, I do that all the time. Oh, yeah, it's awful. It's terrible. Getting old sucks. Jesus. So age is one of the biggest barriers, I believe. This is my personal belief. Age is one of the biggest barriers to the limitless possibilities that more than any other subject. So let me say that again. I believe age is the biggest barrier to the limitless possibilities of this life than any other subject. I really do. Age comes from everything. Your death, you're living, you're going, you're coming, you're going, what you're doing, how you're looking, what you're wearing, what your hair looks like, what your body looks like, what you can do, what you can't do. That's my opinion. So, I want to talk a little bit about Luna because the thing she shared with me the other day was pretty extraordinary. So, I'm not going to go too much into the nuances because that's for her person, but basically what her person asked me is, what's going on with Luna? There's this, she wants to go up this hill. And every day she wants to go up this hill. And some days she can make it and some days she can't make it. So I don't want her to strain herself. Luna's 11 years old, but her energy feels different. And I'll go more into that in a second because that's really important. So she says, her person said to me, what is going on with her? Because when I drive her up the hill and leave her maybe about a foot away, so all she's got to do is jump, and then she could continue on with her walk, she gives me the stink eye. Or she gives me this look like, what are you doing? What's the matter with you? Really? This is what you're going to do for me? Really? And interestingly enough, I didn't know what was going on, so I connected to Luna, and I asked her, what's the deal with the hill? And she's like, well, I'm not, what I'm doing is what my person is doing in a loving way, but still it's a little bit of annoying because what she's doing is she's taking away my ability to gauge. And I was like, gauge what? And she says, my life force. I said, excuse me? And she said, what I do is I use that hill to gauge my life force or my life energy that day. It also gauges for me how aligned I am with my stream of well-being and my life force energy and how disaligned I am by it. So then I can adjust it. That hill is my meter. And if she's driving me up, then I'm losing a vital part of my ability to really gauge how sensitive I am and how open I am and how aligned I am to my life force. It's pretty amazing. So what she was doing was she wasn't using it as a way to judge. Well, I'm 11 years old. Let's see if I can get up that damn hill. It's not about that. She was using it as a gauge to understand how aligned she was to her stream of well-being, aka her life force. And if she needed to, how to adjust it. Ooh, well, it's feeling a little bit on my left hip, so maybe I'll send my left hip a little healing. Or maybe I'll just make sure that, I'm lined up with it. And how am I feeling about that left hip? Got this beautiful bird outside the window now. Talking about life force. I love it. So do you understand how major that is? Do you get it? Do you get that? She wasn't judging it as a way to criticize herself. She wasn't judging it and using it as a way to hold herself back because she's a certain age. She was just using it as a gauge to see how lined up and aligned she was with her life force and stream of well-being. That is incredible. That's incredible. Do humans do that? No. We use it as a way to beat ourselves up. Oh, I didn't get up that hill. You know what? Shh. There you go. My body's going on me. I didn't get enough sleep last night. Probably because I'm too old and I'm not sleeping right. Really? Can't you just say that maybe you're just not lined up with your stream of well-being at that moment, and you're not lined up fully with your life force? Your life force is a little ebb, so maybe you need to ramp it up a little bit. Why do you have use it as an excuse for limitations? It's incredible. I mean, she blew my mind. And I knew about the age thing a long time ago, and I'll explain a little bit about that and my side of it and my story later on. But to gauge it as a way of alignment or disalignment from her stream of well-being, and if you do not know about the stream of well-being, I'm going to say this again. A lot of the episodes that I'm doing, especially now that we're at 50, is a lot about the stuff that I've covered in the first 20, 25 episodes. So if you have not seen those, go back and look at them. They're fascinating. About LOA, about law of attraction, about the stream of well-being. It goes through every single thing an animal does almost. It's fascinating. And I'm not just saying that because I think it's fascinating and it's my video. I'm saying it because it is freaking fascinating and it changed my life. So that was Luna. How freaking cool is that? Pretty cool. So the animals. Now listen, this is not every single animal, okay? I'm sorry, it's not every single animal, but it is a lot of the animals that I've talked with, and I will be honest with you, it is a lot of the wild animals that I have connected to. This is their mindset. The majority of animals, wild and domesticated, do not count their years or seasons or anything else like that there. They read the life force or energies and the inner strength to gauge where a being is in their life journey. I'm going to say that again. They do not count years. They don't care about years or seasons. They care about what is going on inside that body right now, and they read that energy to gauge how aligned or disaligned that being is from their stream of well-being and where they might be on their life journey. Again, not judging it, not saying, oh, you're here on your life journey, so, that means that you have to, you got to give it up. Barca Lounger is in your future. They don't care about that. They just gauge it to just say, okay, well, I'm either aligned or I'm disaligned, or my life force is a little weaker than it normally is. So can I generate it out? Maybe I'm just having a bad life force day. Okay? They slap a hat on their head, walk out the damn door. They don't care. All right? Metaphysically, I'm not saying they slap a hat. You know what I mean. So they don't judge where they are or where another being is in their life journey. It's not about the number that matters. It's what they can do and what they cannot do, what they benefit, how they can benefit the pack, the flock, or the household. What are you able to do for the household today and what you aren't? But just because you aren't maybe able to do it today doesn't mean you can't do it tomorrow. And they don't think that, they're like, oh, well, there you go. You can't do it today. You probably can't do it tomorrow. And if one is not able to do much, some animals, now here's the thing, towards the end of life, all right, there might be some animals that can't keep up. This is especially in the wild. They can't keep up. They can't provide, and some of them will get pushed out by the others to fend for themselves, or the ones who don't believe that they can keep up or contribute will leave on their own volition. The reason being is not because of their age. it is because their life force and their energy is not contributing at the moment to the pack as much as it should. And they need to use that remaining energy to transition, however that is, whether it's by somebody else's hand or some other animals, some other animal does it or they do it. So they need to make sure that they have enough energy, because I've talked about this in past episodes too. It's akin to a nuclear blast when somebody takes off, when somebody transitions. Energetically, it's akin to a nuclear blast. It's extremely powerful. It takes a lot to do it. That's why some can't do it at the end and they need help. So the ones in the wild, though, they have to make sure that they have that life force. So they need to be able to do that because they need to be able to have that energy to move away from the pack, to move away far enough so then they're not bringing predators to the pack, things like that there. So that's that. But again, it's not about age. It's about alignment with their stream of well-being and the strength of their life force. Okay? Animals understand that life forces, just like the tides, they ebb and flow. One day you're flowing, the next day you're not going, next day you're flowing, maybe the next day you're not flowing. It's back and forth, back and forth. But you can always line yourself up. You can always do something to line yourself up with that energy. Maybe meditate, maybe ground yourself. I talked about grounding last week. Maybe you need to eat the right foods, or eat more of the foods, or drink more water, or have more, have less sweets and have more and less caffeine. And again, I got nothing against sweets and caffeine, whatever floats your boat. But there's some things that, you can do to maybe shore up your life force, your energy. They understand. They understand that there's one day you can and the next day you can't. They don't make it a big, fat, hairy deal. Humans like to make things into a big, fat, hairy deal. So they don't limit themselves. They don't judge themselves. They don't judge others. And they don't hold themselves back with limited mindsets. That's the way that I've seen it. That's the way that they've explained it to me. Now, my story. My story is, and I'm sure this is going to drive some of you crazy. My story is, I don't count my age. I haven't counted my age since I was 11. Why? I started talking to the animals very young and started to ask them really strange questions. One of them, was, my mom was celebrating one of my animals' birthdays, and my animal was just like, it's not about age. And I'm like, what? What do you mean? What do you mean it's not about age? And she said, actually, this was Cleo, and Cleo lived to be 25 years old, 26, sorry. Looked good until the day she died. You would not know whatever her age was. She didn't care. She didn't know. She didn't care. Okay, the only reason I know how old she was because I counted back from the day that I got her after she transitioned. And I didn't want to know. I didn't care. But I said, what do you mean, Cleo? And Cleopatra was her name. She was black. And Cleo said, it's not about age. Age doesn't matter. Age is irrelevant. And I mean, I was 11 years old, so irrelevant. I had to ask her what that was. But, she basically told me that it doesn't matter what your age is. It's how you feel in your body. And if you don't feel well in your body, do something to make your body feel well, or make you feel well inside your body. Do stuff. Also understand how it's going on mentally, what's going on up here. So I started to understand. I started to observe. I started to observe how people treated me. And people would always, I looked very young when I was a kid. and nobody could tell my age. I always looked younger than I was. So people would always say to me, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're 11 years old. I can't believe you're 11 years old. You look so young. You look so young." And it'd drive me crazy because people were trying to define me by what they thought I should look like. And I kind of got what Cleo was saying. It's not about the age. It's not about what was going on. There was stuff going on with me that people would, if they knew, they would have thought, "You're too young to go through that. You're too young to have to do that." But I had to do it. So what does age have to do with it? If I have to dye my hair because I'm 11 years old, because I have gray hair, and I did, does that mean that I'm too young? What does that mean? I'm too young to do it. Yeah, but I have to do it. So what does that mean? Or I'm going to get teased. So what does that mean? It means that age doesn't matter because I'm 11 years old and I got gray hair. Doesn't matter. So I stopped counting. And this drives people batshit crazy. They can't get it. They don't get it. What do you mean you don't know how old you are? What do you mean you don't count your years? What do you mean you don't know what's going on and what's how can that happen? Don't you have a birth certificate? Don't you have a driver's license? Don't you? Yes, I have all these things. But I had trained myself to stop counting the years. I don't know how I did it. I stopped putting my freaking attention on it. That's the best way I could describe it. I stopped putting my attention on it. I didn't care about it anymore. I stopped counting. I stopped saying, "Oh, from here to here, I'm this age, and from here to here, I'm this." I stopped doing that. And it became the habit of stopping counting my age. Do I get papers that say my age? Yes. Do I look at them? No. I don't care. It doesn't matter to me. I don't define myself by that. And I'm happier. Okay? I don't care. But it drives people batshit crazy. They don't understand. They don't get it. And when I come across people, and I, come across people now, and I'll have a crowd around me with people trying to guess my age. I was like, "Please don't do this. This is not a game. This is not The Price is Right or The Age is Right. This is my belief. I don't spit on your beliefs." But people will get into this, this thing of this gyration of trying to figure out how old I am. It's none of your business. Because it doesn't matter to me. And that should be enough. If I tell you it doesn't matter to me, it should be enough. Because I learned this from the animals. It's about my life force. This is why I was able to drop 3 dress sizes without a problem after 8 months of walking and exercising and eating right. Because I did not let my mind limit me. I did not say, "I'm at this age, I can't do this." I said to myself, let's just see what happens. It opens you up to limitless possibilities. It's incredible, and it's beautiful, and it's amazing, and it's fun. Now, I'm not saying, you got to try to stop your age right now, because you probably won't be able to. It's too much of you got too much of a momentum with it. But don't let it define who you are. Don't let it tell you what you can and cannot do. Don't let other people tell you what you can and cannot do. It's not about that. This is how, when it was driving people crazy, when I stopped counting, this is how I knew I was on the right track. What do I mean by that? I mean that even back then I knew that this was something that could be used to make you feel bad, to make you limit yourself, to make you feel like you're holding yourself back. And I didn't want to feel bad, and I didn't want to hold myself back. And I didn't want to have fear about life. I wanted to live it. I wanted to enjoy it. I wanted to be free of limitations that myself and others put on me. So that's why I stopped doing it. But that's okay. It brings a thrill and a joy to my life that you don't necessarily need to understand. It makes me happy. It gives me peace. I don't feel like I'm stuck in a box. I feel like I am got this beautiful vista of expansion all around me. And don't send me emails trying to guess. It's none of your business. It's none of your business. The animals don't go for it. I don't go for it. I don't need it. They don't need it. I don't need it. It's just the way that I see it. So don't send me anything trying to guess my age. It's none of your damn business. So don't focus so much on your age. It's not about that. The animals understand, again, I want to say this, what Luna told me yesterday. It's not about age. It's about how aligned and unaligned you are to your beautiful stream of well-being. It is how powerful and aligned you are with your life force. That is all that matters. Period. Everything else is fluff and under and don't mean a damn thing. It's cotton candy. Makes you think like it's something solid, but you put it in your mouth and there's nothing there. It's just mist. So here's my bottom line. Okay, so you might know your age, but again, like I said, don't let it limit you or hold you back from the things that you enjoy, that you like, that you want to experience. Like Luna, you might not be able to climb that hill every single day with ease, but that doesn't mean you shouldn't still try every single day to do something extraordinary, to do something different, to do something challenging, to do something fun, to do something or wear something or listen to something or experience something that you might not normally have done that if you believe that you can't because of your age. It doesn't mean a single damn thing. It's about your life force. The life force inside of you, not the number of candles on the cake or the date on a piece of paper. None of that matters. Star Wars, I love Star Wars, but they're right. It's all about the force and how you use it. Nothing else matters. So that's episode 50. And I hope you enjoyed it. And if anybody has any comments or questions and they'd like to let me know about it, please feel free. I will look into that for you guys. I appreciate you. I thank you. I really, really do. I think that this is an important lesson. It's an important information. It changed my life. When I was 11 years old, it changed my life. And I never looked back. I never looked back. And it's something I don't talk about a lot because, again, it does drive people crazy. And I don't want to fight. I don't want to. It should be enough for me to say, it is none of your business. I don't count my age. I don't want to know how old I am. I don't care how old I am. It does not matter. It's how I feel inside, and that should be enough. And if it's not enough, then please leave me alone. So, Sharon says, amen about your energy, not the number of your age. Who cares? Honestly, who cares? It doesn't matter. It's not something that should matter. But we think that it's important, and we pigeonhole people, and we pigeonhole ourselves, and we are limitless, unbelievable, incredible beings. We are beings of light. We are beings of divine. We are beings of energy. And why would you want to limit your energy? Why would you want to say, well, the battery's been going this long, so evidently It's going to crap out any day now. Just enjoy the fact that the battery's working, period. You know? So thank you for sharing that, Sharon. And Sherry said, had some experience. I was looking so young and drives me batshit also. Great episode. Thanks, Sherry. It's funny. It's really strange how, and people think they're giving you a compliment. They think that that's giving you a compliment. Oh, you look so young. What are you trying to say? If I was this age or whatever age, I'm supposed to look like crap? It doesn't make any sense to me. So I'm glad I'm not the only one. I'm sure I'm not the only one. I think the animals have a beautiful way of looking at this. I want to remember this. I want to thank Luna again for sharing that about the life force and how aligned and disaligned she is with it, because that's the money shot right there. That's the money. That was beautiful. So I want to thank everyone sincerely for taking their time out of their day, watching the animal experience, supporting the animal experience. It is something for me that means a lot. And yes, I count the episodes. And yes, we're coming up on a year, all right? But it's not, I say this is a year, this is how you say it. I say this is a year that the animal experience has been in this world. Hopefully changing lives, hopefully changing attitudes, hopefully giving people wisdom that they need, hopefully making people feel connected and loved and appreciated and shared, and hopefully giving knowledge to the world. That's the way you see it. I don't say, well, it's 50 episodes. I've been viewing this for almost a year. Woo! It's how you see it, how you spin it, that matters. So I want to thank you all for supporting the animal experience. Yes, for 50 episodes. And I want to let you all know, if you have any questions or comments, feel free to post it on the video. I'm happy to answer them. Let me know how you feel. Please share the video because we need to, this is what this is all about. It's about bringing the animals' voices to the world. And I can't do that if nobody shares the videos. Because it's nice that you're watching them. I really appreciate you watching them. Please do not get me wrong for that. I do love you for watching them, and your animals too, because usually they're right there with you. But in order to move the animals' message through the world, we need to share what is being said. Not for me. I don't care about for me. I care about for the animals. That's why I'm doing this. So let's share, because sharing is caring. Okay? And again, I hope everyone has a wonderful, amazing, beautiful, fantastic, limitless week with you, yourself, your animals, your world. And I will see you all next week.